Okay, here we are in the second round. We lost the die roll this time. Boo. Our deck definitely wants to be playing first against Yatra. There is... I really want to play against Goblin Lackey. Such a good name. Goblin Lackey. So hopefully I'll meet Goblin Lackey in the finals. Alright, and we have a Snap Keep here. A little bit of power. We want to start turning on the favorite Hoplite, but I'm not going to complain too hard with a favorite Hoplite, couple 2-drops, and a Celestial Archon. My opponent mulligans to 6 on the play. Not gonna lie, can't be bad news for me. Will my opponent mold us 5? It would be nice if you mold a 5, my opponent. Alright, favorite Hoplite turn 1. Deepwater Hypnotist turn 2, assuming my opponent doesn't play a 2-drop. Because if I can start bashing in early, then I'll be quite happy. Ooh, another green drafter. Ooh, maybe we end up doing the Leonin Snarecaster. Probably Hypnotist, then Leonin Snarecaster, right? Because Hypnotist can be on the board, and then we can do the Snarecaster, tap down whatever my opponent played, bash in with both, and then we'll start getting the Hypnotic, the Deepwater Hypnotist online. There's something my opponent can have here, right? Freakus Cure is the only thing in black that's double black. Am I missing something? Not too sure. Get that Uno point of damage in. Get the Hypnotist down. Okay, not excited to keep drawing lands, but it does boost us into Celestial Archon range, and it does mean then that I'll play the Traveling Philosopher instead of the Snarecaster. Not too sure yet if I want to play the Archon on 5 or not. Probably going to. Since there's not much else going on in my hand, I'm not going to just sit around and wait for 2 more lands to bestow it on something. It's not exactly amazing. I am pretty stoked, though, if my opponent doesn't do much here and misses a 3-drop, to be able to play the Snarecaster next turn. Because this -3, -0 is going to help us bash through. Yeah, look at that. I might even hold the Snarecaster. Because it might be just so relevant in getting through next turn a second time when another creature's here. I think I'm going to do that. The thing is, Celestial Archon comes down next turn. Yes, I think I'm just going to do this. Play the Archon. Get in a bunch of damage. And then probably draw a land soon enough to do a Sea God's Revenge and just kind of finish out the game. Because this gets in 6 points. Main issue is another 3/3 or something comes down, and my offense is pretty easily halted. Which is one reason why it might have been nice to hold on to the Snarecaster. But I don't want to waste next turn playing the Snarecaster, so I'd rather get the big hit in now instead of wait next turn. Because I'm pretty sure this Archon's the next thing coming down. We'll see what I draw. But I think we're playing this guy. Okay, opponent grabbed it. Assume not attacking, and that's the case. Another blocker. Staunch-Hearted Warrior. We'll go here. There could be a boon or something that makes Staunch-Hearted Warrior big. But I'm actually okay with that. Because at least right now I can attack him with these 3. And my opponent would have to trade a card from one of them. And they're all Darky cards anyway. So we'll just keep the pressure up, do 4 damage, assuming my opponent blocks with the Disciple. And then doesn't trade a card with the other 2. But if you know that they are traded, I'm A-okay with that. And then we'll follow up with the Celestial Archon. I wouldn't mind drawing one of my draw card spells. So I wouldn't mind putting out the favorite Hoplite and attacking in as well. Getting this guy bigger, either with flying or like the Chosen by Heliod, getting a big old butt down. That could be a-okay too, because putting 3/2/2 guys through is going to be pretty okay. My opponent's thinking quite hard. I presume on another cube. Alright, we did draw the Chosen, which I do want to play. It's not using my mana efficiently, but I like getting another 2-power dude to be able to attack in. Ooh, and we'll have a follow-up play with Wave Crash Train, so that's quite nice. So now I'm way less sad about playing the Chosen. Opponent's just taking 6. I'm a little bit open to like a Disciple of Phoenix or discard, and these are obviously both great cards to discard, but at the same time, like I probably need one to finish out the game, so we're in okay shape. Now there's much more danger for the Staunch-Hearted Warrior to kind of get insane. But again, I'm actually happy with all of these cards. I'm not going to attack with a Wave Crash Train, but I'm actually happy with any of my stupid 2-drops to trade off with the Staunch-Hearted Warrior, because we're still going to get some more damage in. Put my opponent at least down to 3, and then we're going to have a big old flyer on the board. So that'll be cool. We're dominating the game because if you look, I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spells. My opponent's only played 2, so kind of makes sense. Not a lot's happening. This is the block that I think should have gone on last turn. Maybe my opponent has something in hand to make this not the case. Maybe there is that combat trick now. Feral Invocation would be really good for my opponent. Necrobite, still good, but not particularly worried about. And then, yeah, I think I just play the Celestial Archon just because it maximizes my mana. Definitely want to get a flyer down. I don't see any reason to play the Chorus necessarily over the Celestial Archon. Could get eaten, could die. So would Chorus. I don't think there's a real reason to not show Celestial Archon. What can I lose to right now? An Arbor Colossus would be horrible, but do I lose to it? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, still have... That's not... It's going to keep my opponent alive. It's not something I'm particularly worried about. Nimbus Naiad would be insane. That's okay too. I'm just going to try to go for the win here. No reason to play cute. There we go. I could have felt... I mean, I felt confident enough where my opponent was at with my board, where I could have attacked in with the Archon, eat the Leaf Crowd Dryad, and just kind of, like, make my opponent have answers and, like, wait to play Sea God's Revenge till I needed it. But maybe I'm thinking... Maybe I'm missing something that my opponent could play to get out of it. And I don't think not showing the Sea God's Revenge... I mean, the only benefit to that is so my opponent knows that I don't have Sea God's Revenge, but... It's not really something that matters quite so much, in my opinion. Alright, green-black. Did we see any Ray targets? No, we didn't. My opponent didn't play much. Well, I guess we did see the Leaf Crown Dread. Kind of the same options here. And again, Crafting Train not being good against a bunch of 3/3s. Which I assume my opponent has more of in green. Definitely things that outbalance it. So is there anything in my deck that sucks against that? Twos get outclassed. I think it's very much similar to the last matchup where I want to keep it the same and still try to just have somewhat of a curve and try to be the one who's the aggressive. Here we're going to keep with a nice 2-drop. One land gets us the Skirmisher at 3, and of course if it's a Plains, which we lucked out last match on, is fine, but we also have a Crypsis, just to have something to do. And again, being on the play means we're more likely to grab that land when we need it. Ooh. Oh, I thought it was going to be the Centaur, which would be a little scary. This isn't super scary. Opponent gets a forest out of it. We drew exactly what we wanted to draw. Turn 3 Brimaz, man. Can't argue with that in deciding games each match. Slap that guy down and have Crypsis. Ooh. I like it. Go ahead and attack here. My opponent wants to use a combat trick on my Traveling Philosopher. I'm okay, since I do not have Heliod in my hand. Even then, it'd still be okay. Lead with Brimaz, because he's too good on turn 3. And then probably get into Wingsteed Rider zone. Even if my opponent plays a Swamp, there's no removal spell in this format that takes out Brimaz for another turn or two, so I should have at least one attack in with it. I don't know all the removal spells from Journey yet, so maybe there's something that would make that not right for Journey into Nyx. Grown test! Woo! Brimaz. I love that I have Crypsis to back up Brimaz, so I can attack in, get a removal spell out of hand, get a random Dork dude, just apply some pressure. Do I want to land or not? I think I want to land because I want to get this Archon out soon. But a land this turn would be cool with Divine Verdict to also have a different option against wasting the Crypsis on the Brimaz. Because long-term game would be nice to have the Wingsteed Rider take the Crypsis to get huge. Not sure what my opponent's thinking about. Might be mana screwed. Okay, my turn. I'm definitely going to play that land that I drew. Go ahead and attack him with both. My opponent missed a land drop, so this looks very favorable. We could certainly get like a Fermentation. Even that, yeah, is there anything that's... There's no +3/+3. Aspect of Hydra is only a +1/+1. Yeah, Brimaz is gunned down. A stumble against a turn 3 Brimaz is really hard to come back from. Although I think my opponent's fairly checked out, taking minutes in between decisions, probably on another draft, and is probably focusing on that at the moment. Alrighty. Getting some attacks in, no blocks. Do I just want to protect my Brimaz? Well, there's really nothing I can kill it, so I guess I don't have to. So let's get some greed on. Play Wingsteed Rider. And that's that. Alright, on to the finals! With our Sweet Mythic Rare. We've been drawing quite well. I don't think our luck's going to maintain next match.